Hello guys, welcome back to the final model I how to service your locomotives video. So on the last video for the model I stuff for today. It's not running trains today, it's just basically cleaning up basically dirt off trains and track and stuff like that today. Obviously the next step after cleaning the trains is cleaning the track. And I found a new tactic for a train, and if you've seen that, it's basically a big lump of dirt coming off the train wheels. And probably you guys have been watching my YouTube channel for a long time. As you know, my model area does tend to get really dirty. Not because of obviously its size, because my table is quite big. But you know, does get heavily used by diesel units, electric, steam, and obviously diesel. So I've got a variety of collection of trains. It's just I haven't got that many steams, I haven't got that many electrics. Plenty of diesels. The reason I get some diesels is because they're good for like heavy duty stuff like freight trains, carrying around cargo. But also good for testing the top speed performance on them. But in general, I do like diesels in general, but when I drive a diesel car, probably for temporary use if I have to, but a lot of people like diesels. I can't understand why. They can be quite a reliable vehicle in the sense of when you're doing long journeys on them. But if you're doing short journeys, you're better off with a hybrid or like for electric. Even petrol probably won't be not as bad. Because diesels get clogged up in the system, and if you sit around for too long, they can make the engine won't start. So you best take them on long journeys if you want one, diesel car that is. Diesels are prone for that reliability issues. I'm not worried about cleaning up the class 83 for today. I'm going to clean up the 25. Let's move the A4 out of the way, or the key, and move the A4 out of the way. So those three are been done and cleaned. So you're looking at the 25 next, and the class 87, which is one of my electric units. So that one's a little bit out of place. But all these have got pickups on them, so it makes the performance run really well. So we're going to do the 25 first, and then we're going to tackle one of the older units. I think the Triumph Blue Pullman, which will be the next one to the service. And yes, I do have a Blue Pullman. I haven't done the 37, but that'll be done for another video, I think. But as I said, if you've got plenty of, Triumph Blue Pullman diesels and steam units and electric, make sure they service quite heavily, because the older units will need them more than the modern ones, because they carry particular power on the engine, or this unit here, the triangular pouring unit, it's the whole motor piece is completely metal, which is dates back from the 60s or 70s, which is a long time. But this unit particularly, you have to oil the little worm thing, which is basically the drive shaft for this train. You want to make sure it's oiled well, because a bunch of the cogs on these things are huge, and the pickups are only on one side, so oil's first thing to do with this one, and then we'll just clean the wheels. Obviously with this train you want to give it a good clean around it, so let's just grab the edge of the towel. I haven't got any sponge to use with this, so just use the edge of the towel to clean it up. But the thing is guys, you want to, especially if you want something old to last a long time, it's going to come out as probably as a display model one day, because they're aged and how they look. Pretty good units though, they're fairly liable units in comparison to what modern ones tend to be like. The modern ones are far more easy to break than the older ones, just how more fragile they are. Because, you know, how you've seen how the Class 150 reacted the first day I got it, brand new. See? Smooth as a food done right now, running this unit. It's very smooth. So, now that Class 150 that's coming around now runs out no lights. So you could tell she wants to move, but her motor is so out of sync with everything. And that Class 06 is just going nuts. I'll turn that off. And we basically got 2.5 minutes left, so hope you guys enjoy the servicing video. I know the video is not going to be best, but the lighting on this is pretty tragic. And I've set the settings out on this unit. As you can tell, the unit wants to move, and once it actually moves well, you can tell it actually works really well. But until that track's properly cleaned and running properly, I can't really say how well it will run, because the unit itself, because of the trying to reform it, it's just the motor piece especially, it's all die cast metal. The whole motor piece is completely metal framed. The plastic over the top of the engine is just fairly tough plastic, but it's fairly basic. But the trying to reform is now only probably about 60 or 80 quid. Obviously it does depend on where you get it from, but it fetch a lot of money now for these units. They're not cheap at all. You have to look around quite cheaply on places like eBay or second-hand stores or somewhere to get these. eBay's the only place I ever could find these. Same with the Triumph Class 81 units. A lot of people do like the Triumph reforms, even the Class 150 or any others. At some point I will get things like the Triumph Class 81, because I do like that unit. The Triumph Class 81 unit is just how old it is, it's just quite out of date and all that. So, which actually smells quite good. Might sound a bit odd, but you know, some units do have a good smell in it running. So, put this away. Oh. We've got 35 seconds left, guys. See what I do. These things are. These wires are a bit of a hazard. Typically. Lucky I haven't broken the plug really. I'm very lucky that I haven't done that. Here comes the 06. Very unfortunate the train, or even the wiring on that plug is very tough. Do you run no steam from tomorrow?